Welcome to GoSimcha, the podcast that takes you on an in-depth approach to the Jewish music, entertainment, and simcha world. Now, here's your host, Zeesha Littman. The following episode of GoSimcha, the podcast, is proudly sponsored by Karen Simchas Chassan V'Kala. Karen Simchas Chassan V'Kala was founded over 25 years ago and is based in Brooklyn, New York. KSCVK helps widows, orphans, and people who are in dire need of marrying off a child. Working through their network of vendors, KSCVK ensures that every wedding is just as special as the next. Run by world-renowned party planner Devorah Benjamin, KSCVK takes care that each wedding is as elegant as the next one, ensuring dignity and class through every wedding that they put on. To donate to KSCVK, please visit their website, kscvk.org, today. That's kscvk.org, and help make someone's wedding special. Hey everybody, welcome back to another wonderful episode of GoSimcha, the podcast. This week we're kicking off episode 47. We took a very long hiatus over the summer, about 5 weeks. It was a chaval. A lot of good things happened though. I actually made it onto a really cool podcast talking about our podcast, and we had the pleasure of being written up in a number of different articles about GoSimcha podcast. But this week is really exciting. We're back in action, kicking off this week with a really cool singer. He is only 16 years old, and he just released another single. That's really cool. So I'd love to welcome Duvy Burston to the show, and get a little bit more about him and how he got into music and why he's so cool. So Duvy, what's up, man? How you doing?
Thank you. I'm great. Thank God. How are you?
Boruch Hashem, yom yom. It's a pleasure to kick off my podcast after the summer with you. I mean, it's like the last day of summer out for everybody, and no better way to talk music with you. So what's your story, man?
So as you said, I'm 16, and I sing. I love singing. I play piano and guitar, and then I write. So I got into music when my mom was not insisted, but she told me she wanted me to get piano lessons when I was 8, and I was interested. But then I started slowly with a teacher, and then I got really into it after a couple months. And then I got better at it, and it became like kind of part of me. I got like really into piano. And then a few years later, I got into guitar, and I learned how to play guitar. And then the writing kind of came naturally. I just started like singing random tunes and random lyrics, and then I'm like, cool, I can write a song. And then I came up with these melodies that I really liked, and I wanted to share with the world.
That's awesome. And you did this over the course, I guess, over the past 8 years, which is really incredible. And now your music sounds very, very, very good. Like, you have this unique sound to you that is somewhat contemporary, somewhat a little bit classical, but it's not your typical Jewish sound. And especially with your newest single that you put out, I love it. Like, you've taken that classic Chabad niggin and meshed it with this new sound. So what's the story behind that?
Yeah. All right. So Samach Nafshi was like a niggin that I grew up with, like ever since I was really little. My parents would play it from like the Rebbe videos, and then like I always had that with me, and I got connected to that niggin. And then I always played it on the piano. It's more blue, like with a lot of blues. So
right.
I like take the blues scale and like just mess around with the niggin a little bit, making it a little bit more funky. So I was doing that, like thinking about just like recording it, just like the regular niggin, but with like some blues licks. And then someone like listened, like, that sounds really cool. And it'd be really cool if you added English sections to it and like explained what it meant to you. So I was like, it's a really good idea. I wasn't exactly sure how to approach it. I wasn't exactly sure how I can like blend it together, but then I tried and it worked out really well. So yeah, I kind of opened it to English Tehillim, with the pasuk, and use the words inside to use as a guideline for the song. And then I expanded on meaning.
That's really awesome. Yeah. So now that you brought that up, yeah, there really is a nice blues element to it. And you have a similar sound to Alex Clare. I don't know if you're familiar with Alex Clare. You have this similar sound. Yeah. So if you heard his music, you have a very similar sound to him. And he's also Chabadnik. And yeah. And it's cool. Like, so I take it you're into that, you're into more like the blues, you're more into like that sort of deep sound. What's your main thing?
I like the blues. So I would say my main thing is pop in general.
Really?
I like the poppy sound.
Really?
Yeah. And like I like the pop sound, and the blues are just something that really got me into piano. Like when I learned the blues scale, it was fun for me. I don't know, something about the blues I really liked.
Right.
But even though it's probably not my main thing, but I love it a lot. And then that's what got me into that song, is when I started with the blues, then it kind of like meshed into a contemporary or pop.
Nice. So how do you balance your? I mean, I know you're young. Last time we had somebody about your age, he was a bit older. But how do you balance school and your music career? That must be hard, no?
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult, especially in the yeshiva system. But like last year, I worked out with the yeshiva that I would have a little bit more freedom. I felt like I just needed more time to relax, because like music is not only something I enjoy, it's just something that like really helps me relax and like bring my thoughts together. And after a long day, I just feel like it's like the one I really need.
Right.
So sometimes I crave, if I haven't played music in a few days, I crave just putting my hands on piano or strumming and guitar. Just something that's like I really, really feel like I need. So I managed to get a little bit more free time than most guys had in yeshiva last year. Now I'm going to a different yeshiva, and they already have a little bit more free time in there because they're very pro. The yeshiva I'm going to is very pro, like kids like me who want to develop their skills. So they give more time for that already, which is good.
That's really cool. Where's your yeshiva located?
So last year I was in yeshiva Ata Imadi of Pittsburgh.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to yeshiva Ata Imadi in Crown Heights, Tara.
Oh, cool. So there you go. So you're where are you from originally?
Upstate New York.
Oh, wow.
Orange County area.
Oh, wow. So you're a New Yorker, but that's really cool. So do you get a lot of gigs? Do people book you because you have that kind of sound that people would want to hire you for a kumsitz or one of these types of things? I know this is like the new thing. Let's bring a guy and do a kumsitz. Let's do this. Do you get a lot of gigs, or you're still out there trying to develop yourself?
So not yet. So definitely that. I am still trying to put myself out there a little bit more before I try to get gigs a lot. But I have done a couple small gigs, or maybe I could even call them bigger. But I did them voluntarily. I didn't get paid for them, but I just wanted to do it. But in yeshiva, in camp, I always love leading a kumsitz by bonfire or sharing my music. It's just something I love, and I really do want to perform in front of many people, which I hope to start doing either this year or sometime in the near future.
That's really cool. I mean, like I said, it must be crazy to be only 16 years old, have 2 singles out, and starting to really get into the music scene. What made you want to put out these 2 singles? What drives you to do it?
It was just I wanted to. I see so many people. I look up to so many people who released music, and I'd be like, instead of obviously I learned so much from their songs, but I wanted to be them who's also the artist and not just the listener. I felt like I wanted to be the one releasing the music. It's kind of, I don't know, just the feeling I got. And then I did it with the first song, and I know it's a lot of fun. Even though it's a lot of hours of work putting into the song, I enjoy because I love it. But then the actual release, when it gets out there, it's a cool feeling when so many people are hearing your songs and resonating with it. And it speaks to a lot of people, and people tell me how it like really spoke to them, and I really like the way that I don't know, it's just a feeling.
That's awesome. That really is cool. Yeah, a lot of the guys we've had on our show in the past have all said the same thing. That's why they love putting out the music, is because when people come up to you and say how much your song has inspired you and how much it's brought them to new levels in their ruchnius and brought them to new levels in what they're doing, it's probably the ultimate chizik for you to say like keep on going. You know what I mean? Like.
Right.
Your song really, like, when I started listening to your latest single, it like I only listened to it today, and it was already putting me into a good mood. It was already bringing me into this state of like, wow, this is good, and that's what we want, you know. And a lot of times nowadays, especially with music, you know, there's so much negativity in music, and the fact that with our music we have this ability to bring positivity to the world and bring those sparks of kedusha into the world with our music, it's really a totally different thing. So for you, it must be incredible because you're so young, you know, and you're just killing it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, for sure, man. So like, who would you say is one of your biggest influences in the music world? I mean, there's so many people out there, but like, and nowadays, like, there's so many people popping up. Like, who would you say is one of your biggest influences?
Right. So I listen to a lot of different types of music, but definitely I would say Gadol Baz is definitely someone that I really respect. His voice is incredible, and he has like the similar ideas that I do. Like with he like took Hava Nagila and he made it into this whole other song. You know what I mean? He like transformed it, which is what I did with Samach Hanafshi.
Right.
So I feel like, and I like his sound. He also has a lot of a pop sound, even though might not be his main sound. Some of his songs have that sound, which I really enjoy. So I really look up to him a lot.
You know, he's great. I mean, he's been around for a long time. He started off as like a wedding singer in his show.
Yeah.
Really, and he's really grown to like, right. I think he's probably like the fourth famous Jewish singer out there next to Avram Fried, MBD, and like Lipa. But he's pretty big. He was supposed to come on our show a couple weeks back, but you know, Boruch Hashem, he's busy.
Right.
Now you keep mentioning pop, but like your music isn't your music isn't that poppy. That's the thing. Like, so why are you so into the pop sound?
Right. So I would, yeah, you're right. The songs that I've released so far are kind of like,
right.
Like I feel like on the edge. They're kind of more contemporary. But I have more songs that are written I just didn't release yet, and those are definitely have a more pop sound to them. Some of them don't, some of them do. But I'd say I enjoy it the most. Listening to a pop song and writing.
Right. Then that's pretty cool. I mean, and so regarding like other pop artists in the Jewish space, who else do you find is someone you look up to? Because again, I think a lot of the music nowadays is turning poppy a little bit.
Right. Well, there's some other new singers that are like close to my age. They're a little older than me. That I also like. I enjoy more. They have a more poppy sound as well.
That's true.
Have you heard of Yosef David?
Yeah, sure.
So Yosef David, he's definitely doing really well. He has really good songs. And some other singers like that. They're younger. They only have a couple things out so far. I enjoy their music more.
Now, the fact that you're a writer also, it's a huge game changer because a lot of these guys don't write their own music and a lot of them don't even play so much. Right. What do you like so much about writing music? I used to write music also. I happen to be a musician too. I play a number of different instruments. I used to write a long time ago. Not into it anymore. But like as a writer, what do you find, like what gives you that geschmack in writing?
So I like how I'm writing the song and I could say that I wrote it. So many people, as you said, don't write their own songs, but I like how it's like all me. Like it's all like my not me in that way. It's all me, like that I'm putting myself into the song, and it's not I'm singing someone else's song, I'm singing my song. So I'm actually like showing myself in the song.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure. Because when you're doing everything from start to finish, it's your own product. A lot of listen, there's no harm in not writing your own music. If it's not what you're good at, it's not what you're good at.
Right.
But it's like it brings it to a totally another world when you wrote the lyrics, mapped out the notation, and sat down and played and recorded it. Just brings you to another level. And I'm assuming your favorite part is probably sitting down and playing it for the first time and just getting it and just like enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah, of course, exactly. And then, yeah, there's so many steps into the writing process and the producing. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. It's fun.
That's great. Now, if you had a chance to collaborate, I know you're young and you're still getting into this, but if you had a chance to collaborate with anybody, who would it probably be?
Probably those singers that I've mentioned. Like, I feel like I can definitely, like, a lot of the Jewish singers have a more, like regular Jewish sound, I guess I can say. Like, I don't know, there's than the newer modern sound that I'm going for. So I guess it could work to like mend the two styles together. But I wouldn't feel as like I wouldn't feel as comfortable doing that. I'd rather do it with someone with a little more of a similar style.
That makes sense. That'd be really cool if you got to collaborate with Gad Elbaz.
That would be cool. I don't know if he's done. He actually has. He's done a couple, but that would be hard. I don't know.
He's done a few. I mean, he's got a bunch of stuff he's done with other people. He obviously Shem Melech he did with Nisim.
Right.
He's got some stuff he did with Ari Lesser. He goes out there with other people. But that would be very cool.
That definitely be cool.
Now, what's your like I keep emphasizing, you're only 16, so you have a whole long time ahead of you to keep growing in this. What's your plans for the future?
So I definitely will always be doing music. I just don't know if it's going to be the main thing I'm going to do or as a side thing. So I think now for the next few years I'm in Yeshiva, I'm going to continue doing a lot of music and learning as well. Of course, that's what I'm in the Yeshiva for. Mostly learning, and then I know I'm going to be getting done as much music as I can. And then after that, then over the next few years, I'm going to watch. I'm going to see where the music takes me, and if I could get it further, I will. I think I'll probably turn to it. But it's hard. The industry is hard, and it's not. Definitely not easy to make a very comfortable living off just playing music. So I'd have to see where it takes me. But even if I don't do it as my main job, I would do it on the side.
Well, I mean, again, the fact that you're multi-talented, that you could find a profession in writing other people's lyrics or composing or things like that, because there's always a huge need for that. And it's true. The Jewish music industry is extremely difficult to crack, and most people in it aren't rolling in the dough like they are on the other side of the fence. And I think because you're so multi-talented, you definitely have many ways into turning this into Shasa, and it should only be good for you. Now, and also the fact that you have lots of inspiration every time you open up a sefer. You have tremendous amounts of inspiration, especially throughout Chassidus. You have so many things to inspire to create different songs, and to bring out more nigunim. And it's really cool. So you have really the sky's the limit there, and I think it's great. Now, what do you, as a musician, as someone who's involved in this, what do you think of how the Jewish music industry has become infiltrated with lots of outside music and brought in?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that? Like the non-Jewish music influencing some of the music that is put out these days.
Right. I think that it could be like important to I don't know about important, but it definitely helps that there are other influences coming in, not just the Jewish, like the regular Jewish genre sound. I think that it's cool if other genres are influencing it and like helping the Jewish genre expand. But there are a lot of singers who take non-Jewish songs and just put Jewish lyrics to it that I'm really not a fan of. I don't know. I just don't feel like it's right.
It's not authentic. It's not real.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm totally.
Exactly.
I totally hear you on that one. Well, this was great. I was so happy we got to turn out a new podcast episode this week. We got to sit down with a cool guy like you. What's in the works for you? You got any other stuff? I mean, I just put this out. Like, I'm sure you're always creating. So you got anything to tell me? Anything in the works?
Yeah, I have a couple of songs that I'm working on. So I'm not sure about when I will get to it. I want to get into the producing world so I can try to produce myself or at least create demos a little bit, which is why I might buy the equipment. That's an investment. I'll have to figure that out.
Nice.
So yeah, I have a couple songs that I'm working on, a few complete ones, and I'm hoping to sometime in the near future release a EP or an album.
That's awesome.
It'll take a lot of work, time, but yeah, it'll happen eventually.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, albums are great. A lot of people find that albums are not so conducive anymore. Singles are the way to go. I think albums are much better. They tell a story about who you are and what you're doing.
Right.
And it has more of
I feel like it's like an explosion. Like boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Mm-hmm.
No, for sure. What are your thoughts on streaming and how it affects your pronunciation off of this? I know it's an interesting topic with a bunch of musicians I speak with. But how do you feel about streaming and the way it affects your revenue? Because like you just sunk a ton of money into putting these things out, and it's just like
Right. So it kind of sucks because I haven't made a cent off it so far. But what I'm hoping to do is eventually earn money releasing the songs now that I'm going to perform and make it back sometime soon. So although the streaming definitely changed the whole industry, like it used to be that everyone would buy the albums and songs, which would be amazing if that's what everyone was like forced to do kind of in order to hear it, then obviously I would make money from it. But it's definitely a changer, but it is a better the advantage is that it does get me more out there, that anyone can listen. You don't have to buy it, so now more people are listening to the song than if they had to buy it, which is good, at least for the few singles.
Right. No, for sure. That's definitely a good thing. Well, because it helps with your overall, exactly what you said. At the end of the day, like they're not buying your music now, but hopefully it'll turn into people being more aware of you, people being more knowing who you are, and turning into bookings. And that's what you want, because you make more money anyways off the bookings, off the gigs, than you do off of an album sale.
Right.
Well, kol hakavod, man. Kol hakavod. And it was a pleasure sitting down with you and talking to you. You got a lot going on, and you're going to kill it. I'm telling you, I think you're going to kill it because I love your sound. You have something unique that you offer the world, and you're doing what you love. And it's just absolutely incredible. Right? And, if anybody wants to hear Duvy's newest single, you can cruise on over to all major streaming platforms and have a listen. I was floored. I think it's great. If you like blues, if you like this kind of sound, it's really good. And this guy's going to kill it. So watch out.
Thank you so much.
Join the leader in Glatt Kosher Tours today with Kosher Rica Tours, luxury cruises aboard the most desirable kosher cruise lines in the world. Glatt Kosher gourmet cuisine prepared fresh daily, and world-class scholars and residents aboard every tour. Experience the world with Kosher Rica today. Our tours sell out fast, so book yours today by visiting kosherica.com today. That's kosherrica.com today, and experience the world through Kosher Rica's eyes. So, for real, man, you're going to kill it.
All right, thank you so much.
For sure. Pleasure. Batzlacha, and keep rocking, man. You've just listened to another wonderful episode of GoSimcha the podcast. For more news, updates, and information on our next episode, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram at GoSimcha Live, and don't forget to check out the show notes and videos on www.gosimcha.com along with zeradio.com. Thanks for listening, and remember,